With Nicole and Keith, it's a classic case of too much time apart, values becoming different. They didn't choose to stay in proximity. They didn't choose to have that day-to-day. They went off and did their own thing. We often see this later in life, right? When people they've had the kids and they've been together for so long, and then all of a sudden they wake up one day and they go, who am I now? Like, who am I now? What we know, which is not a lot, but what we know is looking back at their marriage, just months after they got married, Nicole and Keith's best friends staged an intervention and off he went to rehab. So he had an addiction to alcohol, amongst other things. He had actually publicly stated that that addiction and that process made their bond incredibly tight. And they had 2 children together. They largely lived in Nashville. There had been a lot of ups and downs, right? Over the years, there'd been difficult times, like there is in any relationship. But most recently, the speculation was that Keith had publicly stated how unhappy he was with her most recent movie, Baby Girl, which was very highly sexually charged. And there has been sources close to the couple that have said, she is very sexually needy, and that became a point of tension for them. Over the past few months, they were together at an awards show and they kissed and he was being honored and they held hands. But what we know now is they had actually already been separated and he had moved out. At the end of the day, we don't really know. But what we do know is for the last couple of years, she's been filming and she's been abroad. He's been touring. So that connection, that intimacy of the daily, the everyday being together wasn't present. So this is something that we see all the time in ambitious, heart-led women that have these strong personalities, but also they want to be taken care of and they want to have that soft part of them recognized and acknowledged. But when you're both doing so much and you lose the connection, everything starts to fall apart. Now, can it be saved? Absolutely. But it takes intention and it takes communication and it takes actually naming the problem. One of the things that I do with my clients is we do a values elicitation, and we do it in a way that's very different than you might think. So let's use relationship or marriage for an example. So we're gonna take all of your values and you're gonna give them to me, and then we're gonna take the top 10 and we're gonna order them. So these are the things that without them, it cannot be. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask you for each single value, how much of this is not in your relationship? 0 to 100%. Let's use trust for an example. So how much trust do you feel in your relationship? And you might say, 75%. However, when we ask it the other way, it taps into a different part of our brain. And so if I said to you, how much of that is not in your relationship, you have to think about it differently. And it actually provides a completely different answer. And anything in that list that's more than 30%, you can pinpoint that as your problem, as your breakdown, as the absolute thing that you guys either need to come together and figure out, or for some people, as you grow apart and different things come up, sometimes it's just the end of that relationship. Because often what happens is in relationship, one person might say, you know what, I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna go work on my stuff. I'm gonna go figure this out. And there's some growth and there's some reflection and there's some clarity. Prior to that, they were more in a space of being wound mates. So when one person grows, the other person either grows with them and then they get to become soulmates, or they don't. And then one of two things happens. Number one, they usually try to pull the person back down to be in their space of low frequency and miserable and complaining, or they go, okay, if they're going there, I have to go with them. With Nicole and Keith, it's a classic case of too much time apart, values becoming different, and really stepping into that time of life where it's like, who am I now? And when we look at the two of them and the choices that they make, right? Because everything's a choice. They didn't choose to stay in proximity. They didn't choose to have that day-to-day. They went off and did their own thing. We often see this later in life, right? When people they've had the kids and they've been together for so long, and then all of a sudden they wake up one day and they go, who am I now? Like, who am I now? I ask this question a lot, and I'll ask people, I'll say, on the other side of this, and for everybody it's different. Some people it's stuck, some people it's, I don't know what I want. Some people it's just, I'm lonely in this relationship or after this divorce. And when I ask them, What is it that you want? What are you doing or not doing differently than you're doing or not doing right now on the other side of this? What lights you up? Often that will bring tears. And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't even know who I am. I was a wife for 30 years. I was a mama for all these years, and my kids are gone. And I never imagined that at this age, I would be in this place alone. As we see, we'll have to watch Keith and Nicole's journey as they move into this next phase of life. It is really a testament to making values-driven decisions and being intentional when we choose of how we're gonna show up and how we're gonna show up in our relationships together. If this speaks to you and you find yourself in this stage of life wondering who you are, or is it too late for you? Or is there too much that's happened in the past? Are you too much? Are you not enough? I wanna offer you something that's gonna give you insight about you that you've never had. Take the LE, the Extraordinary Love Index, which is an assessment that is gonna answer the question, what's standing between you and extraordinary love? And let me be clear, this doesn't mean just romantic love. This is self-love. This can be love inside of partnership, inside of family. But most importantly, it's gonna look at these 9 key areas that make you you and give you insights at a depth that you're actually gonna be able to understand where you are, what you might be experiencing, and the cost of staying there, and how you can actually move out of that and start moving towards the life and love that's meant for you. I'm Riana Malia, and I work with heart-led, high-achieving women to create extraordinary love to match the life that you've built. So head to the description, click that link, go take the LE, and I'll see you soon.